Welcome back to the Immigration Answers Show. I am Jim Hacking. I am an immigration lawyer, and we have offices in St. Louis, San Diego, California, and Washington, D.C. This is episode 223 of the Immigration Answers Show. We are so glad you're here with us. Hope you all are doing well. Looks like the waiting room is already full. I'm going to get to some calls here in just a minute. Before I do, I wanted to mention one thing. I was just talking to my lawsuit team, and we really like filing lawsuits. It's our favorite thing to do. At least the lawsuit team, it's our favorite thing to do. It's my favorite thing to do as a lawyer. We get to help people whose cases have been stuck at immigration and can't get an answer, and we really help them to get things moving. And I set sort of a crazy goal that I used to laugh about in the old days of suing them 365 days in 1 year, to try to sue them like once a day, every day for a whole year. And about a week and a half ago, I checked that how many lawsuits we had filed, and it was the 191st day of the year when I checked. And at that point, we had filed 198 lawsuits. So we were already on track. But then last week, we signed up 21 new lawsuits. So we are on track to sue them more than there are days in the year, which makes me very happy. The lawsuits are doing well, helping a lot of people. And some of you might remember we've had some calls about fellows from India who have approved EB-2 I-140s and are waiting for their green cards. The first one of those we filed just got approved today. So the lawsuits don't work every single time, but they do work a lot. Now, here's the interesting thing. In the old days, I was the one talking to the clients. I was the one gathering their evidence. I was the one filing the lawsuits. That hasn't been true for many, many years. We have a team approach. We're going to bring our PodL team into the show in a couple of weeks. We have 3 great paralegals, Tamara, Pilar, and Josefina. And we're going to have them on the show. We also have someone that many of you know. She's been on the show, Christina Sullivan, one of our attorneys. The attorney who has been our leads attorney is now coming to help me with lawsuits because there's just so many of them, and because I'm sort of doing more work in the leads department and the marketing department and in a little bit in operations. So you'll be seeing more of Christina and the team on the lawsuits than me. But we have a lot of fun with those, and we're really glad that they're working out. Let's go ahead and get started with the show. Let's say hi to Oscar. Hi, Oscar.
Hi, how's it going, Jim? How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Congratulations on all of the lawsuits that are being filed. That's
Thanks.
Awesome news, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
I just had a quick question. So I a former client of the practice, me and my wife, Erin, filed in 2020. Yes, filed in 2020, and then last September, I received my green card. They basically approved us right on the spot. Everything was fine. And I now had a question. I also emailed my paralegal, Kaylee Finney. So my license, I was able to renew after I received my green card because
Okay.
it expired when my OPT expired.
Yep.
And now my green card and my license, and I recently just realized this is not something that the RMV or the DMV, whatever you want to call it, had let me know. They don't line up.
What'd you say, Oscar?
They don't. My license expiry date and my green card expiry date don't line up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
They don't line up. So my green card is expiring 9/1/23.
Yep.
And my license is expiring 10/14/22. I did not receive my EAD card.
Right.
Do you feel like they maybe combined the EAD and the EAD and green card? And even though it says on here it's good until 2023, it's actually only good until 2022, and that's why the license is expiring.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think all you have to do is go down to the DMV and tell them you want one that goes all the way till the end of your green card.
What if they say that's not possible? That's not a possibility because if they like for example, let's say that they combined the GAD card and or the EID card and the green card.
You never got an EAD card. How would they even know about what your EAD card would have been? Nobody knows.
Okay.
I
All
don't know
right.
where.
So
I mean, the question is, where do you think they picked that date? It sounds like they picked it out of their butt. The October date, the 2022 date.
So that is 1 year after it was issued. It was issued 10/14/2021. It
Oh,
expires 10/14/2022.
what state do you live in?
Massachusetts.
So I would get on the Commonwealth website. I would bring with me the printout from the Department of Motor Vehicles that says, I'm sure it says on there somewhere that you're supposed to be able to get a driver's license for all authorized status, and that would be up until 2023. And I'd bring that with you. And then if they give you any trouble, just say you want to talk to a supervisor because they're not being smart.
Okay. Okay. So I shouldn't have any problems with my license expiring.
No, especially in Massachusetts. It's not like you're in Missouri here where they just love to screw immigrants. They should help you.
Okay. Perfect. All right. Thank you so
Thanks.
much. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. And we're off to the races. Let's say hi to Abhishek. Hi, Abhishek.
Hey Jim, how are you?
Mm-hmm. I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing great. So I had a question. My conditional green card is under process right now with the USCIS. It's a CPR, it's a conditional green card. And I was done with my biometrics in April, maybe a little more than 3 months ago, on 13th of April. So I didn't receive any kind of update for 3 months from the USCIS. So last week I called them, and the representative told me that USCIS officers, they have waived off your green card interview. So yeah, so my question was, while submitting the documents, I didn't send my medical because I thought I will take the medical along with me to
Huh?
the interview. So can you please tell me like how we gonna deal with that now since there is no interview?
Okay. So number one, I'm not convinced. I think you still might have an interview. Those people on the phone make mistakes all the time.
Oh, okay.
I would think that there'd be some kind of update that you would have received if they had in fact waived the interview. But
Mhm.
if they do waive the interview and you haven't submitted your medical, they'll just send you an RFE. So people that are on the show who have
Mhm.
had that waived, and one of the clients we've had that waived, they just ask for the medical, and then that's sort of the last step in the process.
Okay. So, I mean, I had received a deficiency notice after 3 or 4 weeks of filing. So, is that an RFE or will I be getting another RFE soon?
No, that's just a notice that you hadn't submitted the 693. You did that on purpose. You already knew it. So no, you'd get an actual RFE.
Okay, because the representative on the phone, he told me that I will be getting some kind of communication within 3 or 4 weeks, and he didn't say any. He didn't give me any information regarding that communication. So, like, any idea, like, what I should be expecting if there is no green card interview?
I think it'll be a couple months. I mean, again, I don't believe anything those guys say on the phone. I don't think you can put
Okay.
any weight in it. So they say you should hear something from us in a month, but you never know.
Okay, for example, if I receive an RFE and whether I respond on that RFE, and I submit my medical records,
Then
so that should be all set, right?
I would think that'd be pretty quick at that point.
Okay, okay, great. Okay, that's all my question was. Thank you. Thanks for that.
Congrats. Yep, for sure. Let's say hi to Anish. Hi, Anish.
Hey Jim, I'm back again. Yeah, so I approached your office and I spoke to Christina
Okay,
at the
great.
office, and she asked me to file for a FOIA request. So I did do that on 14th of July.
Okay.
Uh, so it shows the status as submitted now.
Uh-huh.
So how long should I wait for my FOIA to?
It could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Oh, okay. So I requested for an entire A file. So is that the right thing that I did?
That is the right thing. Hmm.
Okay, so that's one. And second is I just got an update on my H-1B. So as of what it says on the website is that the case has been actively reviewed by USCIS. They're reviewing the Form I-129. And there's nothing outstanding at this time. That's what it says. Uh, so should I just keep waiting for my?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And the third thing is like my marriage to my spouse uh, was an arranged marriage. So like in India, so we didn't like date for years and years before getting married. So it was like I mean, like our parents spoke over the marriage. I mean, we met over a marriage site, and then our parents spoke, and then we arranged the whole thing. So will that cause a problem? Because I've heard that, like, if you get married on a short period, they kind of consider it as fraud. But then in my case, like our community is the same, our culture is the same, and everything's pretty much the same. We speak the same language as well.
Is this an overseas case or an adjustment of status case?
Adjustment of status.
So what I would say then is that they understand arranged marriages, but you still have to prove it up. So they'll understand that you might not have a lot of information from before. We've had many arranged marriage cases get approved in the office, but I'd be working very hard to develop lots of evidence from after the marriage until the interview, if that makes sense. So if the non-citizen has received their social security card and their work card, I would make damn sure that I start developing lots of evidence. I would bring in some affidavits from friends. I would go on some trips. I would make some purchases. I would definitely, you can't just throw up your hands and say, oh, it was an arranged marriage, so we don't have a lot of evidence. That's not the right mindset. It's an arranged marriage, so we don't have a lot of evidence from before the marriage, but after the marriage, we're going to try to overcome the little amount we have before to balance things out. Does that make sense?
Right. We're trying to develop evidence to prove that it's a bona fide marriage. Kind of in whatever way we can through like having joint bank accounts
Right.
and credit cards and all those sort of things.
Good.
And the last question is the most trickiest one. Like, I received during my OPT period, I received a visa revocation notice from the embassy
For
in
like
India.
for DUI or shoplifting or something?
No, it's like the email said that my U.S. visa has been revoked pursuant to Section 221I of the INA,
Okay.
and is no longer valid travel document.
Yeah.
So will that cause any problems during green card?
You're going to have to be ready to explain this. We've actually had a case in the office where the underlying green card got denied because the officer mistakenly thought that was that kept them out of status. That was an employment-based green card versus a family-based green card. It shouldn't have any effect on it, but you should do a really good job of trying to figure out why it got revoked. There's got to be a reason they revoked it, I would think. And number two, you got to be ready to talk about whatever that was.
Right. So how do I find out? I mean, the reason, because I was here and I was on, OPT, and but I've maintained my status throughout, but my visa was revoked. So
How long were you in the United States on an F1?
Since 2015, I'm still on F1.
Yeah, so they might think you have imminent intent. They might just be screwing with you. I think that they do that sometimes, but generally, like I said, it's because of some kind of an arrest.
Right, because I was not arrested ever.
Hmm.
So probably, I mean, I was actually employed by one of these companies. Actually, it came out in the news that they used to, give out I-983s by taking money from OPT students and then filling out I-983s, and then you can submit those to the DSO to maintain status. So I guess that's probably one of the reason, maybe.
Yes, Anish, that's the reason. And you better be damn ready at your interview to talk all that through, and you better make sure that your spouse understands everything about it, because what they're going to do is they're going to separate you and your spouse, and then they're going to ask your spouse all about that, and they're not going to know about that. And then they're going to say, well, is this a real marriage? He didn't even tell you about this school, this scammy school. And now we're wondering if this marriage is real or if it's just to get an immigration benefit. And yeah, so I would not go to this interview without a lawyer.
Right, Jim. So yeah, so I'll probably then, I guess the best bet is to kind of wait for my A file to come,
Mhm.
and then probably start with the lawsuit process probably.
Well, I don't know about the lawsuit. I would research the heck out of that university and know everything you know about the organization and the I-93s and everything.
Right. All right, Jim.
All right, brother.
Thanks.
All right,
Jim.
see you,
Take care.
buddy. All right, let's see if Christopher is with us. Christopher, are you here? Nope. All right, Christopher is out. Let's say hi to Andy. Hi, Andy. You're on mute.
Sorry. Hi, Jim. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
I was on the show a couple weeks ago, I believe, and I
Okay.
asked you if I should. My case is EB3, employment-based green card. I asked you if I should upgrade the I-140 to premium, and we did so. And now we got a ability to pay RFE.
Yeah.
I believe that the only thing that the lawyer filed was the tax returns of the company.
Yeah.
Is that enough, or why did we get an RFE?
Because you didn't submit enough evidence. And then the question is, how old of a company is it? What kind of revenue does it have? What kind of a profit does it have? Do you know the answers to those questions?
It's a small company. I don't know the answers, but it's a small, about 50 employee company.
How many?
50.
And what are their revenues?
I don't really know. I think we make sales around $700,000-$800,000 a month.
A month?
Yes.
That seems like something that should be able to be overcome. I think you need to talk to the employer and say, look, we need a whole lot more evidence. This case is going to get denied, and then have them talk to their accountant, see if the accountant can do cash projections, you need to prove it up. It's your burden to prove, or it's the company's burden to prove that they can afford to pay you. So they need to show how much they're spending on salaries. They need to show how much profit they have, that they need to show basically that they have enough money to pay you and to pay the prevailing wage.
Okay. So I've been working with this company since January.
Okay.
And I know in some cases, if you just send the pay stubs, that might help. Is that something that does help?
I
Or
mean, that's one little piece, but you should do what I said, which is actually document the ability of them to pay. That you have to. I mean, they could make $750,000 a month, but if they're spending $2 million a month, then they don't have the ability to pay. So just pure revenue by itself doesn't tell them anything. A tax return by itself doesn't really tell them much.
okay, thank you. That's all I had.
Good luck, Andy.
Thank you.
All right. Let's say hi to Nader. Hi, Nader.
Hello. Can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just at work. So I have a question. I was talking today to Rommel at your office, and they told me it's much better to talk to you. So I moved from Egypt to USA to New York City, and I applied for asylum in 2016. And then I met a guy last 2020, and then we fell in love, and then we got married last year in August, and then we submit all the document for the green card on September, and we bought a house in February this year. And until now, I didn't hear anything from the USCIS. I live in Alexandria, Virginia. So I don't know. What do you think? Like, it's take a long time, or?
You mean Alexandria for the asylum case?
For the asylum and the marriage, both of them.
But you said you lived in New York.
I moved to, like, when I arrived to USA, I moved to New York City, and then I moved from New York City to Virginia.
when did you file the I-130 and the 45?
Last year in September.
So less than a year ago.
Yes.
And is your spouse a U.S. citizen?
Yes.
And was at least part of your asylum claim based on being gay in Egypt?
Yes.
So that's good.
But I
Okay.
didn't hear anything from the asylum office.
Yeah, well, that's not surprising. Asylum cases are taking a really long time. You want to proceed on the marriage case, right?
Yes. This is what we apply on September last year.
Did you get fingerprinted on the marriage case?
No, they told me they will use the one from the before.
Asylum. Yep.
Yes.
And then have you gotten your work card?
I didn't get anything through.
Did you apply for the work card and the travel card?
Yes, for the travel document, for the work permit, for everything.
Well, the fact is, Nader, that they often slow down cases, green card cases, based on marriage when there's an underlying asylum case. So they might try to encourage you to withdraw the asylum case, but you don't want to do that. You should keep that on file, I think.
Okay.
And then I think you're just waiting. Sometimes, I think what happens a lot of times is they wait until the file. I mean, you're not even at a year yet. So
Yes.
after about a year, the case will probably get sent to the field office, and then the field office is going to ask for the asylum file, and then the officer will do your interview. So I think you're still, 4 to 6 months away from an interview.
So I'm still waiting. Like I should be waiting until like end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And in case I apply for the travel document or they send me the travel document, can I travel outside the USA or it will be hard?
You can, as long as you don't go to Egypt.
Okay, so I can go any place except the Egypt.
I mean, generally my advice is to stay here till you get the actual green card, especially when you have a long pending asylum case. But if you have to leave, if you have to leave, it's okay. But I would encourage you to wait until you know for sure.
Okay. Okay. I appreciate your help. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nader. Good luck, buddy. All right, let's say hi to Timatope. Hi, Timatope. You're on mute. You're on mute, Timatope. You're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
Got you.
Oh, thank you, Jim. I'm sorry.
That's
I
okay.
applied for asylum in 2019, and I
Okay.
was granted, that was August 2019. That time I got my Social Security and my EAD in 2020, October, because it makes 1 year, 2 months, and I applied for I-485.
Good.
Since then, I didn't get any updates. I didn't get any updates now. So I don't know what to do next.
So it's been almost 2 years since you applied for your green card.
Yes. October will make it 2 years that I applied for green card.
What city do you live in?
Oh, I live in New Jersey, but
New
now I've moved to Texas.
And have you updated your address with them?
Yes, I did, because I just moved 3 months ago to Texas.
So I think that you're getting to the point where it's sort of ridiculous. 2 years is a really long time. You might start thinking about suing them. If maybe say to yourself, if you don't have an answer in the next, I mean, we could sue today. You've waited plenty. It's up to you, but I think a lawsuit would help. I think oftentimes they sit on green card cases for people that got asylum for lots of reasons. One is that the asylum system is still separate from the USCIS system, and sometimes it just seems like they don't want to give green cards to people that got asylum. So I don't know.
I've been thinking about that too, because I'm a mother of 4, single mother of 4, and most of the benefits for the kids, I can't get it because most of the benefits in the States, that's why I left New Jersey. Most of their benefit there, you have to have a green card.
Yeah.
Even I have a business in New Jersey. I supposed to get a loan, but because I don't have a green card, they didn't give me the loan, and so it's so frustrating. I don't know.
Yeah, well, if you want to sue, just give us a call and we can talk about it, okay?
All right, I will do that.
Thank you, Timatope. Have a good
You're
day.
welcome.
Okay, bye. All right, remember, folks, if you want to come on the show and you're in the waiting room, I need to see your face so that I know that you're there. That's how I know that people are alive. You don't have to be on camera at the time. I'm going to go to Ruba next. So, Ruba, if you want to go back, There she is. Hi, Ruba.
Yeah, hi. How are you, Jim?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for doing this. Actually, I'm lost, and I really need help here.
Okay.
Okay, I'm originally from Syria. We applied for asylum, and that was back in 2013, in June 2013, actually, to be specific.
Okay.
So we did not hear from them until I believe about 2018, and that's when we had our interview. In 2020, we received like a letter that our case was like transferred to the immigration court
Okay.
because they were unable to make a final decision. And that and they mentioned in the since then we have been applying for TPS. The first like time when they opened the TPS, we have been applying for TPS. So that letter states like we never applied for TPS since 2018, and that we are on removal procedure because of that.
Yep.
And so what our attorney said at that time that we will have to go in the court to ask to terminate the removal procedure because we do have a TPS and that was a mistake from the USCIS. And then we can go ahead and finish and like complete with the asylum case at the immigration court. Actually, I did consult another two like lawyers, and they think that what I want to do is ask the immigration judge to terminate my asylum case and just like stay on TPS because I have U.S. citizen son that he's 14 now. And then it will be easier when he is 21, he can apply for us.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that what happened that at the immigration when we had at the immigration court, our court was supposed to be like in person. Then 15 minutes earlier, they said like it will be on Zoom. And at that time, our lawyer was not prepared like to provide the evidence like online. So she said like she will send them all the receipts and all the stuff as a proof that we had a TPS. We have been having a TPS for that long time until now.
This was a hearing on the motion to terminate, or this was the individual hearing on your asylum case?
No, that was the hearing of the motion of terminate. Yeah. Got it. Yeah. So after like about a month, we received like a letter from the judge that he denied the motion of terminate.
When was that, Ruba? When did that happen?
So we had
was it Trump time or Biden time?
Biden time.
How long ago?
So we had the court like back in April, back actually in March 18th.
Of this year?
Yeah, this year. And then after about like 40 days, 45 days, we received the letter that he denied to, to terminate the removal procedure. The lawyer said that he did not provide any explanation and that is not acceptable. So she would go ahead and I don't know actually what the next step. So we have been like lost. Do we still have to complete with our asylum case, or should we like just save the money and the time and just wait? So what do you think?
When is your hearing for the next deportation case? You must have an individual hearing at some point in the future.
For the motion for which one?
For the asylum case,
that should be in May. In May 2023.
Okay.
May 2023. Yeah.
So, did the DHS attorney oppose the motion to terminate?
What do you mean?
Yeah. So you wanted to get out of deportation, so
Okay.
that you could just stay on your TPS in the hopes that you wait long enough and that your son turns 21 and can sponsor you, right?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And so your attorney made a motion to the judge, say, hey, judge, can we terminate Ruba's proceedings? She has TPS.
Okay.
The government attorney who's trying to deport you, they have the chance to agree to that or to oppose that motion. Do you remember what the attorney did?
Actually, what happened at that time? So she asked them. The lawyer asked them, "I want to hear from you." So they were okay. So that what happened. They didn't have a TPS. They are out of status if their asylum is not approved. That's why they are on removal procedures. But she said, no, I have, and she did file FOIA before earlier. And she said, no, I have all the receipts and I have all the proof. So the judge said, okay, send them my way and we will see. And then I don't know what happened then, but we received the letter that he denied.
Okay. So something's wrong with the case. I don't know what happened. Somebody did something wrong. It sounds like the judge wasn't happy with what was submitted. It sounds like, I mean, in number one, Ruba, I'm glad I don't do deportation anymore because just hearing your story stresses me out. I'm sure it stresses you out too.
Yeah, it is.
But it sounds like somebody didn't do something right. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like the judge didn't have what the judge needed to terminate proceedings. My understanding right now, Andrew, one of our attorneys, was in immigration court on Zoom on WebEx on Monday, and he said they were giving out, motions to terminate, motions to administratively close like candy, right? So
Okay.
something's off with your case. What I would do is I would probably file a request to get your entire immigration file, both from USCIS and from the immigration court, try to make sense as to what happened, and then file another motion to either terminate or to at least administratively close, so that you don't have to have that asylum trial. And you don't want to draw your asylum claim. You want to keep it alive, I think. The one thing I wanted to point out to you too is you said that our son is 14 and he might turn 21 and then he can sponsor us. I just want to make sure you understand us means only his parents, not his siblings, not his brothers or sisters. You know that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand this. No, actually, all of them are. I had them all here because we have been here for a long time. My husband started like on a student visa before.
So, are you saying that you didn't apply for TPS on time? Is there any?
No, we did. We have been always like applying on time. We have all the receipts. The last time we applied for this time, we didn't receive the receipt yet. But we had everything, and the attorney supposed like she submit all these to the judge.
Well, it sounds like you might just have a bad judge.
Exactly. He's a new one, and he seemed to be lost on the, and he was like, am I missing anything? Do you want to say? But I just feel that's like not fair because it's just waste of time and
Well, that's what they're good at, wasting time.
So there is nothing we can do, just like as you said, gather everything together and
file another motion. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you think that it's right to stay in our asylum case,
For sure.
Okay, so the only thing that the lawyer think, if you would like to travel outside, you don't want to do it.
No traveling.
Okay.
Thanks,
and
Ruba.
Okay, and there is any? Do you think that we might still have the TPS renewed till 6 years from now? 6-7 years from now for Syrian people?
Allahu alam. I don't know.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Ruba.
Thank you, Jim. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. All right, let's say hi to Jemmy. Hi, Jemmy.
Hi, Jim. How are you doing? I'm calling from Jamaica. My issue is I was in the US in 2020 back in the COVID time. I entered in November and my 6 months would have been expired in May.
Of 21 or 20? You entered in 20?
2020.
You entered in 20.
I had 2019.
Entered in 2019. You were supposed to go in May of 2020. Then COVID hit March of 2020. Okay.
Yes. So I tried to leave in February, but I wasn't feeling well. So I called the airport. They told me to get my stuff checked out. I found out that I was pregnant in February of that time.
Okay.
Was feeling sick, as I said, but I booked my ticket to leave in March. And when I booked my ticket to leave, the airport sent me an email that all flights are canceled because of the airport locking down.
Yeah.
I contacted my ambassador from Jamaica, and she said I should apply for extension.
Yep.
That's what I did.
Good.
I was there up until July of that time, and I didn't hear from UCSIS.
Yeah.
So I end up leaving because I have my children back home here, and I have my business back here as well.
Sure.
Didn't hear from them until November 2020. That time I was back here. Send them an email stating that I'm back home, but they said they did not receive that email, so they turned the case down because they did not hear from me.
Okay.
So what they're saying, I can travel, but travel with my document showing that I did apply for the extension. So I was asking what you think about if it's a case that they would turn me back. I don't know. I want to travel next week. Do you think I have a chance?
So you have a multiple entry visa?
Yes, I do.
And the question is, do I think they're going to let you into the United States, or are they going to turn you back based on, I mean, what I would do is I would bring proof of everything you just told me. It sounds very reasonable to me. Yeah, I think it sounds very reasonable to me. I think you may have a problem. You might not. I mean, it sounds like you did everything right. You tried to file for
everything. Because prior to that visit, I have always stayed like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I've never spent 3 months. That was the first time spending, and it was because I lost my two grandparents like months apart. I was really depressed. So, I said, let me take some time off from everything and just do me for a minute. And that whole COVID hit me. That was it. So
here's what I would say then. It sounds like you have a lot going for you and a lot in your argument, a lot of arguments that you should be let back in.
And I'm also diabetic as well. That's the reason why I was scared to travel, because I'm diabetic. So
obviously you're going to have a round trip ticket, right?
I do.
So here's what I'd be thinking, Jemmy. Okay, I'm going to have, if this comes up, if they start asking me about this, I'm going to have all of 2 minutes to explain to them my situation. So I would have a little set of documents with exhibits. Like I would say, Exhibit A, my first entry, my first exit on time. Exhibit B, my second entry, my second exit on time. Third, fourth, and then here was my round trip ticket I had. Here's where they emailed me and said the airport was closed. Here's the receipt notice for the extension. Here's when I sent them proof that I left. Here's the denial of the extension. I'm coming for 2 weeks. I'm leaving again. I did everything I was supposed to do, and I would let you in, but I would let a lot of people in. So,
Yeah, because what I did, I called the airport, asked them about my situation, and talked to a CP officer, and he said, your case is okay. I think you should come. I don't think you have a good ground. So, but I'm just, knowing a woman, you're always worried about that thing.
I think you'll be okay.
Okay, my next issue is I got married to my husband in January of this year. He's a green card holder. We had the baby, as I said before, and I am just worried that he's a green card holder. He has been there for 9 years. He got divorced.
So
5 years
ago. He got his green card through marriage.
Yes, through marriage. He has been divorced 5 years. No, 3 years. He has been divorced for 3 years. We want to submit the documents, but I'm just wondering if it's the right thing to do, or we wait a little bit longer to submit, or
Well, I'd certainly wait till after you come back.
Yeah, so travel first, and then when I come back, you submit.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, so what's the date of his divorce?
I'm not remembering, but it was 2018. He got divorced in 2018.
Okay. And when did you get married?
January of this year, 2022.
Okay. So there's a rule about people who get a green card based on marriage and then turn around and marry somebody else. And that is that if they apply for a green card for that person in those 4 years, then the government presumes that the old marriage was false, and it's a really big pain in the butt. So I would not be in any hurry to file that green card application.
So wait some more time.
Mhm. Yep.
Because I'm trying to get him to apply for his citizenship, but he, just dragging his feet. So I don't know.
That's the best thing he should do, because that'll solve the green card problem. You should have him apply for citizenship. Again, I would do that after you leave.
Okay.
Or at least
Okay,
after
Jim.
you enter.
Yeah. Because I'm not even in any rush, actually. I just want to travel to see him because he's not feeling well right now. So that's the reason. But question, do you think if they ask me if I got married, I should mention that to them at the airport when I'm traveling? Or
Of course, you got to. Yeah, for sure. That would keep you from getting a green card later on if you don't.
also to let them know that if they do ask?
Only if they ask, but always tell the
Oh,
truth.
Okay, all right, Jim. Thank you.
Hi, Jimmy.
Have a nice.
Yep, you too. I like that. Only if they ask, always tell the truth. I like that. That's just a good mindset. Maybe Hooli, send me a text, will you? Slack. Only if they ask, always tell the truth. I'll do a video on that tomorrow. I like that. All right. Christopher's been waiting for a while. Hi, Christopher.
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I wanted to ask you, my spouse, right? We are thinking about doing an adjustment of status, right? And I was wondering, she has never worked, in her life, but her mom,
She's a U.S. citizen?
yeah.
Okay.
So I was wondering if, on the affidavits of support, if we could put her mom on it.
As a co-sponsor, your wife, even if she hasn't worked, she'll need to file tax returns for the last 3 years, even if she has zero income. So she's
Okay.
always the primary sponsor, and then the mom is a backup sponsor. You do a separate form for her. It's not one or the other. You have to do both.
Oh, okay, cool. So she has to do 3 years worth of filing tax.
Yep.
And we also have to do a different one for her mom.
Correct.
Okay, then cool. And what I also wanted to ask you, right? I know the whole 90 days rules, but I don't really get it to some extent,
Which rule?
The 90 days rules.
Okay, yeah, that can be confusing. So when did you enter?
Well, I entered last year.
Okay.
March the 5th.
Of 2021?
Yeah.
And when did you get married?
We didn't get married yet. We're thinking about getting married now.
Oh, well, then why would the 90-day rule apply? You're well past that.
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm because I didn't want to
here's the 90-day rule is really the 60-day rule. The 90-day rule is a State Department rule that nobody really pays attention to. The whole shoot match is whether you got married within 60 days of landing in America. That's what you don't want to do. If you do that, you get sort of held to a higher standard. It's a little bit harder. So you're well past that. So you don't need to worry about that.
Okay, then cool. Because what had happened was that I came on a work program and the work program didn't work out.
Is this a J1 you mean?
HTV.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It was HTV.
Got it.
Yeah, so basically it didn't work out. So then they were letting off people. So I got let off and I basically didn't go back home.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that would be.
Your spouse is a U.S. citizen, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as long as you're honest and tell the truth, that'll be forgiven. As long as you were properly admitted, you have the stamp from when you were admitted into the United States.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So you should be fine.
Okay, then cool. Thanks, Jim.
All right, Christopher. Good luck, buddy.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Let's say hi to Mehdi. Hi, Mehdi.
Hey, Jim. How's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I've been here in this show a couple times.
Okay.
I wanna ask you regarding for my case. We filed I-129 on under your office with Andrew.
Okay. Great.
So now it's on 15-month timeline. We received an RFE and we treated that with the our attorney Carino.
Yeah.
So I want to ask, like, how long? For now, it's been like a month. I want to know, like, how long does it take? How long does it take an RFE to be processed?
It's still at USCIS.
Yeah, it's still USCIS. Yeah.
How much time passed between when you got the RFE and when you got the response out?
2 weeks. It's been around 2 weeks just for gathering all the stuff. The RFE was like, I mean, we got an RFE because either one of us, or either the lawyer or us, did a simple mistake. On the form, we crossed on no instead of yes if my fiance has visited me, even though we provided lots of evidence, photos, and plane ticket and etc. So and we followed the response back like after 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that you're getting pretty close to, if the RFE only slowed things down for 2 weeks, that's sort of ridiculous. So they should be deciding it pretty soon. I would say if they don't decide it in a month or two, I'd go ahead and sue them.
Okay, good. And I want to ask you for a question, another question. Since we are on a same-sex couple,
Okay.
we're doing a fiancé visa because I live in Morocco.
Yeah.
And being gay is illegal, so there's no gay marriage. And I've been hearing that you've been strongly recommended for doing a marriage visa than fiancé visa.
Yeah.
But I want to know, like, for some particular cases like us, do you prefer holding on this one, or do you think doing proxy marriage will be more
You're pretty close. I would let this play itself out. I'd give it a month or two before I start thinking about getting married. I just keep going.
Okay. So we just keep going on the fiance, even though you've been advising that not to.
Yeah.
I mean, to withdraw it and just start a marriage. But for our case, marriage is not possible. So that's why we're going to ask if it's still doable to continue on this one or not.
Yep, I would.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mehdi. See you, buddy.
See ya.
All right. Let's say hi to Bum Kim. Hi, Bum Kim.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Same old. Can't complain. I just had a question. I filed a green card application for my wife this January, and along with it, I filed a form 130, 131, 765, and some sponsor form.
Yep.
And the reason that we filed 131 was because of my mother-in-law's health complication overseas.
Sure.
And I try to, and it's January and it's July now, and she recently had additional open heart surgery. And
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know. And I was just wondering, is there a way that I can follow up with USCIS? Because I tried calling them, they're giving me the automatic responder reply.
Has your wife been fingerprinted at least?
Yes, she had her fingerprinting back in February.
So I would think you're going to get that work and travel card pretty soon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm right. I'm looking at right at 5 and 6 months right now, and you're at 5 months from fingerprinting.
Okay, so maybe we should just hang on for additional few weeks.
I would try. Yeah.
Okay. And normally when they get the updated status, is it more like we approved your case, or do they say we're going to send you a card right away? Or...
Oh yeah, I think the next thing you'll get is the approval notice and the card, or the card and then the approval notice for the advanced parole. Well, and it'll actually be a sheet now because they went back. They split up the advanced parole from the EAD.
And if it gets approved, sometimes we registered on USCIS online.
Mm-hmm.
Is it okay to print out the document that's available online and use that when we go abroad, or do we have to wait for the document to arrive in mail?
You need the document.
Okay. Got it. That was my question. Thank you so much, and the helpful YouTube videos, Jim.
For sure. Good luck to your wife and your mother-in-law.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Yep, for sure. All right. Olawale's been waiting a while. Hi, Olawale. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
You got it,
I'm
brother.
calling from, yeah, I'm calling from Nigeria, Lagos precisely. Thank
Go
you.
for it.
Yeah, please, I have a problem with the consular in Lagos here.
Everybody in Nigeria has a problem with the consulate in Lagos, for sure. Tell me, what kind of case?
Yeah.
Is this a marriage-based case?
No. It's I applied for a tourist visa. I want to renew my visa, you know. And in 2019, when I went back to renew my visa, I was asked about my family, and precisely my family are there in the US. And before then, I think we traveled together in 2016. We were on vacation. We're supposed to go to UK and US. So along the line, I had to go back to the office. So I left them and travel to UK, then come to Nigeria.
Who's we?
Sir?
You said we. Who else was with you when you came to the United States?
Okay. I traveled with the family, myself, my ex, and my children.
Okay, so let me just get this straight. So so you and your wife and your kids all get visit visas to come to the United States.
Yes, sir.
You come back on time, and does she stay there with the kids?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. and so they overstayed their visas, is that right?
Yeah, they overstayed because actually before then we are having domestic problem with my wife, and that was the reason we traveled. I was just okay, let's travel, and
okay. So then did she marry a US citizen?
No, marrying a citizen of Nigeria.
No. Has your wife gotten remarried since you came back?
Yeah. She's married there now.
To a US citizen. To a US citizen.
Yeah.
And applied for a green card.
Yeah, I think because actually she's not really giving too much information. You know, we don't really talk much together except with the children. Yeah.
Okay, so now you're trying to come back on a visit visa, and they're like, no way. The last time we gave you one, your wife and kids stayed in the United States. We're not giving you a visit visa. Is that right?
Yeah. So and the issue now is the consular officer was like, I was lying that when I filled my form in 2017, I didn't include there that my family were in the US, because actually I don't know where they were. I thought they were even in the UK. Okay, but in 2018, my son got in contact with me that they're in the US. So when I now reapplied for my visa, I included that they're in the US. So now, said, when I applied in 2017, I didn't say my family were in the US. And now I said in the US in 2019. I told him, well, I cannot give information that I don't have,
So what's your question for me, Olawale?
Yeah, my question now is they now found me ineligible under section 212 A6C high, that is permanent ineligibility to the US. So I'm just at loss. I was like, okay, in 2021, I reapplied again just to try my luck.
Okay.
But this time they just gave me the normal paper, the normal 214 stuff. So I'm just at loss.
Why are you at a loss? I mean, no one has a right to a visit visa. That none of this surprises me. I'm not surprised they didn't give you the visit visa. You came with your spouse and your children. You all promised to come back on time. They didn't come back on time. And they think you tried to hide it from them, that you had family in the United States. They think you're coming here, Olawale, to get married to someone else and get a green card, and then you can live with your wife. So none of this surprises me.
Wow. But I told him I have a very good job here. I work with government in Lagos here. I have my house. I have my parents here.
Yeah, but see, they think you're still married. They think you're still married, and that your wife's marriage to the American is fake and was just to get immigration benefits for her and the kids. That's what they think.
Wow.
And so they don't want to let you come and marry somebody else and get your own green card. That's what they don't want to happen.
Oh, wow.
It's sort of one of these things where it's not necessarily that you did something bad, it's that all the people ahead of you did something bad, and they're sort of discriminating against you because of what other people may have done.
Wow. So sir, now how do I prove my innocence?
You can't. There's no trial. There's no appeal. They look at your case. They open it up. They say, "Oh, this guy lied. Oh, his wife's in America." Nope. That's it. It's done. There's no appeal.
Wow.
I mean, how many since you came back? You've applied for 3 visit visas, right?
Yeah, I've applied twice. But even before then, I've been to the US. I mean, more than 4, 5, 6 times. After before
but
that.
that was before your spouse left you, and like in their mind, it's much more of a reason for you to stay in the United States because your spouse and children are there versus whatever great job you have in Nigeria.
Wow.
All right. Well, good luck, Olawale. We'll see you, bud.
Thank you.
Take care. All right. All right. Yeah. Visit visas. People are surprised. This is the second time today someone's been surprised when I talk to them about visit visas. Visit visas are completely discretionary, and there's no right to a visit visa or to a explanation as to what they're doing with your case. All right. Let's say hi to Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, hi. Thank you so much for having me in your show.
Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm U.S. citizen, and my fiance is from Morocco,
Okay.
and we applied for the K1 visa,
Okay.
and we did finish all the process. He had his interview on March 22nd, 2022.
Sarah, can I ask you a question real quick?
Yes.
Just because we just had somebody on a couple minutes ago talking about Morocco. How long was it that USCIS had to decide the I-129F? Do you remember?
It took us like almost 1 year.
Almost a year. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Perfect. That's what I figured. Okay. All right. And so then he had his interview. When did you say? In March?
On March 22nd, 2022.
Okay. And how did that interview go?
Well, they asking him, it was like a long interview. They was asking him about more papers. And we submit those papers on April 13.
Okay.
After 2 weeks from they asked that papers, we submitted to them.
Okay.
And then we always see there is update. They send us update, and now we don't hear anything. It has been past 3 months. We didn't hear anything. I heard a lot about what is going on from the videos I'm watching, and I heard from you also talking about how hard it is to get visa from the consular at Morocco.
Yeah.
I went myself last month, and I tried to make appointment and to see somebody to talk to him. They would not allow me. And the lady, she worked in the front door. She said she have been there for 15 years. There is a lot of people. They have a lot of problems with this counselor.
Yeah.
So I'm afraid myself that our case is going to be like for a long time.
Right. Sarah, can I ask you a couple questions?
Yes.
Were you born in the United States?
No.
Are you from Morocco?
No.
If you had to guess, why do you think they're sitting on your case?
I think when they ask you for more papers, that is going to push the case in a side.
Maybe. What papers did they ask for, Sarah?
It's about me, and everything is clear. I give it to them, all the stuff,
Like
all
what?
that what they need. Like
Like
they
what?
need my marriage, my past marriage papers.
Okay, so did you become a citizen after getting a green card based on marriage?
No, I came as a refugee.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's funny, Sarah. I haven't heard much about the embassy in Morocco in a really long time. Like we used to sue them the most. Like they were number one. And they
Yes.
still probably have the record of, we haven't sued them in a while, but lately people have been starting to pop up again asking about Morocco. So I think that since you've already had your interview, that filing a lawsuit is probably a good idea, because I think they'll just finish up whatever it is they're waiting for.
Okay, what exactly do you think that they need? Like they're waiting for? What exactly? Because I'm confused.
I think
Because
they
Mhm.
just sit on, I don't think it's anything particular. I think they just sit on cases for men from Morocco.
So that is something related to the system, or
It has to do with the fact that they're racist and they don't like to give out visas. That's why.
yeah, yeah. So what shall I do in this case?
You should call our office and say, hey, I was the last caller of the day on the show with Jim, and I want to sue the National Visa Center and the State Department so that they can get a decision on my case.
Okay, got you.
All right.
And okay, can I have the? Do you have the number online?
I
Isn't it?
do. It's right here
Okay.
it's right here on camera, but I'll read it to you. 314-961
Uh-huh.
8200.
Okay.
And
Okay, got
just
you.
ask to talk to Shada.
Shada.
Yep.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. Thank
Thanks,
you. I will
Sarah.
call her. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, have a
Bye-bye.
good day. See
You
ya.
too. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. Ooh, Jada just called me out. Jada just called me out and said, hey, Jim, I didn't think you were doing K1 visas anymore, lawsuits. I say, let's try it again. Let's try it again. So we'll see what happens. You know, we always educate people. We can't say for sure that it's going to work, but I'm always up for a good fight, especially when it comes to those bastards in Morocco. So we will be back tomorrow. We're doing a special Friday show because I was traveling. I don't know if Huli knows that. I think I'm doing a show tomorrow. Let me look at my calendar. I think I might have forgotten to add Huli. Let's take a look. Tomorrow is the 22nd. If I didn't add it, yep, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central, I will be back here with all of you answering your questions. It's because I missed out earlier in the week. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. be the last show of the week. And then I won't actually have another show till next Tuesday. So tomorrow, 3 p.m. Central, we'll see you then. Peace, everybody.